Okay, I'm now on the line with Suzanne Muldowney. Hi, Sue.
Hi, Phil.
Are you having a really good Friday?
I can hardly call Good Friday a good day. We just call it good because Jesus uh, uh, sacrificed himself for us. Otherwise, it's really a very morbid day.
It's very somber.
Yes,
hmm So, how goes? So Lent has been going on, right?
it started 6 weeks ago.
Okay. So, what did you give up for? What was your Lenten sacrifice?
Um, I did give up something, but there's nothing wrong with adding on some activity or object um, instead of giving something up.
So, like more prayer or things like that. Good works, goodwill, good work, acts of goodwill.
Yeah.
hmm So that's good. Okay, so
Well, in answer to your earlier question, did I give something up? Yes, I gave up ice cream.
okay, so 6 weeks without ice cream.
So I found good tasting substitutes.
Oh, what is your substitute?
Um, um, Melba toast or rounds, raisins, uh, um, chocolate pudding, breadsticks.
Okay, okay. But now after this, when will you be able to break your Lent and have ice cream?
Sunday.
Sunday. Will you have a Sunday on Sunday?
Oh, oh, no, I'm afraid not. Just plain, plain ice cream out of the container.
Out of container. So no soft serve. Well, what flavor will it be?
Um, Vanilla and chocolate.
Oh, okay. So do you get a vanilla and chocolate, or do you get Neapolitan and don't eat the strawberry?
Um, no, uh, I bought a bag with 10 small cups in it. Each cup is half vanilla, half chocolate.
Do they also include the little wooden spoons?
Um, no, wooden spoons don't come in the pack. I have to use um, my own wooden mini spoon that I saved from some other time because a regular size spoon isn't a very good size for such a small cup.
Yeah, it goes too quick. I always like, and I always love this. It's just such a feeling from the old wooden spoon. What's been going on with you during this holiday?
I've been back at work. I go back to work Monday through Thursday on alternate weeks. And let's see. Yeah, on Wednesday, March 21st, I got my first COVID shot.
Very good, Suzanne. Very good. What
Oh,
did
you may think it's very good, but I was given assurance by many people that it wouldn't hurt, I wouldn't feel anything, all sorts of well wishes, but it hurt very badly.
Yeah, I just got my second, and it hurt my arm. So what kind did you get? Did you get the Moderna or did you get the Pfizer?
Pfizer.
Ah, very good. I got a Moderna.
Well, didn't that incapacitate you?
Well, I must admit, I was incapacitated for a day. You know, I felt some of my arm hurt. I felt a little wheezy. My nose was a little runny. But you know what? This is the third day after, and I'm feeling a little better. Let's talk. Oh, I'm curious. We're talking Good Friday. Can you explain what the origins of Good Friday and how I guess it's not necessarily a good holiday. It is a solemn, somber holiday. Please explain.
Um, it's the day on which um, uh, Jesus died after being crucified and having suffered many hours of sadistic teasing.
Okay, so that is what happens on Good Friday. So then next, what happens after Good Friday?
It's Holy Saturday. Everything's very quiet because we're essentially in mourning.
Mm-hmm. Will you be all right? So you won't be doing any church things until Sunday.
No, even on Sunday, the choir won't be doing anything. Our director said that he wanted as many choir members as possible among the attendees for all of Holy Week, which began this past Sunday. But in order to do so, we had to have smartphones and some special kind of gadget so that the music we were expected to sing would show up on screen. We were not called to sing in the front of the church the way we normally do.
I see. Well, would you ever consider getting a new phone?
No.
Okay.
Even though it's been 2 millennia since Jesus died and arose, the numberless sins committed daily from the day of his death up to now and so on until the end of time make him suffer more, make him suffer all over again.
Oh, well, you know how they always say Jesus died for our sins. I guess Jesus didn't die for our sins. He died for the sins of the people that were before. Or does that include us now?
For all time.
For all time?
Yeah.
Okay. But when we do that, we make him when we sin, it makes Jesus suffer.
Yes.
So we should try to alleviate that suffering.
Yes, and that's why I've always been afraid of making the slightest mistakes all my life, even though they're unintentional.
But do you think Jesus would suffer for that?
I'm stressing self-consciousness.
Explain. Elaborate.
Well, we have to be aware of the mistakes we've made and still make during our lives, or any exceptional sins of commission.
As opposed to the sins of omission.
Yes.
All right. So sins of commission, those would be like the 7 deadly sins, or just like anything in general?
Well, essentially it's saying, I know it's wrong, it's grievously wrong, but I feel like doing it. I'm going to do it anyway.
Oh, that's like if a person lies all the time and they know that they're lying.
Yes.
Or a person that steals more than a compulsion to steal. They know they're doing the wrong thing and they relish in that behavior.
Yes.
Or a gossip or a bully.
Yes.
All right. So
you see, we have but by committing these sins, the sins of commission, we're also doing it to Jesus. See, we have he said in one of the Gospels, "Whatsoever you do to the least of my brethren, you do unto me." Now, we're taught to think of that in terms of acts of goodwill, but it also involves acts of malice.
For example, all the latest rash of hate crimes going on. That's the epitome of such things. I'm sure Jesus suffers from that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So you have to treat everybody like they're your brother or sister.
Yes.
Yeah, do unto others as you would have them do unto the
golden rule. People who go about committing sins of commission prove themselves to be unheeding of the golden rule.
Right. Also, my question is, what about people who go out of their way to trick other people into believing things, misleading them so that they will do the wrong thing on purpose?
Um, those people too, like the leaders of religious cults, they 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 drive innocents into kowtowing to the rules of the cult, which are actually the individual leaders' rules, and and create more mortal sinners.
Right, right. And there's also people who, get people more into like the monetary stuff, or, making false idols, right? Like,
Yes,
when you start making money your god, or when you start making these different things your god, or a relationship a god, or anything, all these false idols, following that idolatry.
right.
Mhm.
Um, See, well, we have to remember. A few minutes ago, I was talking about self-consciousness.
Yes.
Even though Jesus said, "Father, forgive them; they know not what they do," that did not mean that the spectators to his death, and especially the masterminds of his death, went home at just the end of another ordinary day. They, when they saw that Jesus was dead, while he was on the cross, the sky got uh, pitch black, and the instant he died, there were an earthquake and a storm, so that they all had attacks of conscience. That's why we have some names from uh, those days that are villains for all time.
Right. So there was a reckoning.
Yes.
All right. Well, here's a question for you. Um, Now, Jesus knew these things were going to happen. Jesus knew that he was going to be crucified. He was kind of like playing out this thing the way it needed. I mean, even he on get that's many. My pronunciation is horrible, but for him to be there and be like, God, take this cup away from me, kind of a situation. He knew what was going to happen. He knew what was coming.
Yes.
So it's still everything still played out, and these people were still like, he couldn't just like they gave him the opportunity. His followers were like, come on, we could get out of here, we could try and escape this thing, and he did not want to escape his fate because this was his fate.
Right.
So it's kind of like, if this is what he was meant to be, if he was to be the lamb, the sacrifice for all of mankind, to do this,
Humankind.
all of humankind, excuse me, sorry about that, for all of humankind, didn't things play out exactly to the way that it was supposed to? Was that God's plan for this to happen like that?
I can't be sure because the conspirators, the traitors, the torturers sometimes didn't know what they were going to do next. Um, when Jesus was on trial before the Sanhedrin, and then there were several hours of recess until daybreak, the people took advantage to assault Jesus physically.
Uh-huh.
Um, and 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 when first brought before Pilate, he seemed a good man to Pilate. Pilate didn't know what he was going to do. He yielded to the will of the people, so that Jesus ended up getting whiplashed and then ultimately condemned.
Right, right, right. Within like inches of his life, that they thought like this seems like a suitable punishment. Or so they thought. I mean, you know, I guess Pilate was a kind of like a political guy from the Roman kind of a situation, but I
Yes.
guess, you know what? I guess everybody had their hand in it.
Um, because because many years ago, um, our Monsignor was reminding us, it was Holy Week, he was reminding us that we're all responsible for our sins, that we're all responsible for Jesus' death. I put him up there!
So we all have to acknowledge that we all had a hand in this.
But don't you see, the Monsignor yelled at the congregation to make his point stronger about our collective responsibility.
But how did we that were born afterwards put him up there?
Well, for that you have to look into history. Famous and infamous people, their good and bad deeds, persecutions, all the way through the present day.
Okay, so are you saying that us, people of faith, all had a hand, even though we were not born at that time, we all had a hand in this transpiring and this happening?
Yes. People born before him, his contemporaries, and the people born for centuries afterward.
Okay. All right. All right. So I have to ask this question. This is completely unrelated. There are some people that believe in America. So this is an American question. So you could answer this however you like. I'm just curious. There are people that believe that slavery, things like that happened to people of color back in the days. There should be like some sort of money or something to make up for the way that their ancestors were treated. So and then there's some people that are saying, hey, I wasn't born at that time. I didn't put your relatives, your great grandparents into bondage. Am I responsible? Or is just America responsible? Opinion?
America is responsible for reviving slavery and kidnapping innocent Africans, taking them from their homes and forcing them to take a lower life status and even take on different names. Right.
Oh, well, you seem very well informed. So that means there should be some sort of some reparations or something like that could happen. Hopefully but first, I guess what has to happen is that people have to acknowledge, and there's a lot of people that will not acknowledge that this happens, and they believe that people are acting up or now are upset about things that happened way back then, and we should let bygones be bygones.
Yeah, I understand that, but you can't. But Jesus' crucifixion and resurrection were historical facts.
Well, slavery is definitely a historical fact too. Just saying. All right. Well, thank you at least for weighing in on that. I was very curious to see what you thought about that, because it's important stuff.
It's also very pathetic how soon humankind forgets the pathos of the end of Holy Week and falling back onto their sinful ways in the aftermath of Easter, so that Jesus suffers all over again.
Right. So that we shouldn't. You've taken this time out to really reflect on our behaviors, on being the best people that we can be. And it shouldn't be like, all right, Easter happened, everything's good, we could go back to our old behavior. So we should not do that.
That's right. Because, see, we're continually taught to atone for our wrongdoings because well, like I said, Jesus did say, "Father, forgive them," etc., etc. But but the guilty parties still have attacks of conscience, if they have any attacks of conscience at all, because it's not so much um, uh, maltreated people seeking revenge, but rather God's own way of having nature take its course and catch up with the guilty parties when they least expect it.
Ah, nature finds a way. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, all right. So could this be translated into things like climate change or things like that coming that are forthcoming because people are not going out of their way to prevent this thing from happening?
What do you mean? What do you mean the environment wise?
Yes.
Um, I wasn't thinking so much environment wise, a behavior toward nature rather than behavior toward other people.
Okay. So you're saying people's behaviors should change, or at least they should be more mindful.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And what ways? All right. What are some simple ways that people could amend their behavior on a daily basis and do the good thing?
Well, let's say a daily self-examination of conscience.
You know what? I'm with that. You know what? In the morning, I tend to meditate, and in the end, I take a very good look at my day, and I think of the good things I've done and things that I did not do so good. And for me personally, I ask God to, like, relieve me of those kind of behaviors and give me some assistance in not doing them anymore, because
Yes.
Mhm. And then the next day, you start all over again. And
What?
do that. And the next day, I start all over again. A little
Uh-huh.
prayer, a little meditation each day. So,
Um,
so are you a person that you evaluate your day every day about the things that you've done, things you could have done better, and ways you could improve yourself?
I wake up thinking, what am I supposed to do today? Um, and then sometimes I have flashes of memory about something inappropriate.
That you did, or that a memory.
Um, well, it could be either one.
Okay, and then you find you ask God for help, or what is your process? I want to lead me through the process, Suzanne. I'm curious the way your morning goes.
Um, I I feel as though um, um, I accumulate negative points every day, so that unexpectedly God will lose patience with me.
But you also do good things too that also accumulates points as well.
Well, see, we never see visions of scoreboards or visions of God saying "good job" or "you need to improve."
So this is within yourself.
Yes.
So I guess you are the judge.
Um, it's somewhat like the system in school of report cards.
Okay. Okay. So, all right. So how do you just amend your behavior, or do you pray it away? I mean, what is your technique?
Um, I, 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 I make sure to keep my memory active.
Mm-hmm. So that you don't do those things.
Yes.
All right, that's good. That sounds pretty solid. All right, but do you sometimes, treat yourself well, like when you do good things, like a little ice cream?
rarely.
Hmm. Something for a job well done.
Yeah.
Okay. Are there any other ways that you could reward yourself in a favorable way when you're doing something good?
I think to myself, is God pleased with me when I'm doing this?
That is a good way to go through life.
Well, it's also because we have no direct voice to voice or vision to vision apparitions of God.
Well, that's because I think God would rather you use faith, right?
Yes.
I think so. Well, that's my personal opinion. What do I know? Okay, so you advise everybody to do their best and to
Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Treat others the way you want to be treated. It would be a more modern way of saying it.
right. And if you can do this, you will probably be able to get through the day. You know, you wouldn't want people to gossip about you, so you shouldn't gossip.
Right. Did you want any music in conjunction with Good Friday, or well, the morbid tone?
Well, if you have any songs on you offhand, I would love for you to share with us something a cappella.
It's a spiritual. Were you there?
I don't know if I was personally there. Oh, you mean the song's name is Were You There?
Yes.
Ah, okay. So tell us a little bit about the song before you sing it.
Well, it's a spiritual. There are three traditional verses when they crucified my Lord, when they nailed him to the tree, when they laid him in the tomb. But there are also some verses. Were you there when they pierced him in the side? When the sun refused to shine? And there's also a set of 14 or 15 verses corroborating the stations of the cross, one verse to be sung immediately after each station.
Okay, so will you be doing the short version of it or the long version?
Oh, no. I'm going to do only one verse, but it's from the set of verses made to go along with the stations of the cross.
Okay. All right. Thank you. And which verse will you be? Oh, you know what? Surprise us. Go ahead, Suzanne.
No. It's number 12, because that's when Jesus actually dies.
Okay.
Were you there when he yielded up his soul? Were you there when he yielded up his soul? Oh, sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when he yielded up his soul?
Wow, that was powerful, Suzanne.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that with us.
I think I can't be sure that other Christian denominations than Catholics use the Stations of the Cross devotion, because I found those verses in a Catholic Mass book.
Okay, so you were able to only find those certain ones, but where did you find all those other ones?
The three traditional ones are printed in a lot of books, or people are taught them and they memorize them. I saw some. I saw the ones like pierced him in the side. Sun refused to shine um, in a Catholic missalette,
Okay.
and that was also the way I found the ones that go with the Stations of the Cross.
Ah, very good. A lot of research to be gone in. Mhm. Cool. All right. So, any other stuff that you'd like to tell us before you go?
It's important when we're maltreated not to avenge ourselves because someone says that's refusing to carry one's cross. Let nature take its course.
Mm-hmm. Trust God, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. God's got this. Okay, well, I'll keep that in mind because, there's always, people that just because we're trying to do our best, there's some people that might not have our best interest in mind. And we just have to, just we got to pray for those people, right?
Yes.
All right, well, I'll do my best. And thank you so much for the encouragement.
Okay, thank you for having me come around again.
Oh, of course. So you're here for this great episode for Good Friday, and I wish you a very happy Easter. I mean, is it also solemn, or he is risen? So can we be a little bit happy?
Yes, but don't forget, you can't have the resurrection without the crucifixion and death first.
So you have to be able to acknowledge those things.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That's why we have to give a little and have the Lenten sacrifices and all that. Take a little pain on there.
Uh-huh.
Okay, very important, very important. So I have a question. What should this episode be named?
We're all responsible.
I love it. All right, so this episode will be We're All Responsible. That's good. So everybody have a good Friday. Have a very joyous Easter. And remember that we're all responsible. Right, Suzanne?
Yes. I put him up there.
I put him up there. So just understand we all put him up there, right?
Yes.
So let's do our best to stop the suffering, right? We're going to not make Jesus suffer anymore with our bad behavior and, do our best to do the good thing every day, right?
Yes.
All right. And thank you for your advice. We're all responsible.
All right. Thank you. And I'll talk to you again soon.
I'll talk to you again and again. Take care, Suzanne.
Bye-bye.
Bye.